The people is talking now. Everybody want to know about the Nolan Wells case. Well, uh, and we finna get right to it. I'm Jay Lava. I scour the internet so that you don't have to. And we got the Queen finna bust it down for you real quick. Right. Oh shoot, you can't hear nothing? Oh my bad. Thank you. That's what I love. My peoples. Hold on real quick. Let me refresh. Let me do a quick refresh. Let me just do a quick refresher. All right, we back. Let me make sure. All right, do it sound is we good now? Dang, I didn't even know it was like that, man. But you see, that's why I got stellar people who be looking out for the kid. I appreciate that. All right. Now let's bring her back to the beginning and then we can let that ride one more time. Uh-oh, I still can't hear her. Oh, that's because I got it on mute. Ah, that's funny.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadai Shakur. So it looks like some people have been listening to the comments online or reading the comments and watching the videos because now it seems like the things that we were saying that they haven't
Happy
been
Friday.
doing, such as showing empathy and sympathy, showing any signs of grieving, basically now it seems like they're trying to compensate. Okay, so let's get into it. So it looks like on their return to Horn Island, they decided to put up a wreath and put some candles down, okay, for a memorial to their dear friend, okay. But I find it interesting because this is like over a month later, okay. And we also know that Warren went to Horn Island with Rage Batum, Tap Dancing Tatum not that long ago. And all he seemed to want to talk about the time he was there was the water and how you could go from a 17-foot drop to a 31-foot drop. Okay, please pay attention. But now I believe that after the backlash and after things that people have said, specifically as it pertains to them going in so hard in the paints on the family of their supposed friend and brother, as they claimed, right? Specifically Warren. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now it just looks like they're trying to, play catch up. They're trying to do the things that we said they had not been doing. That made it look as though they weren't really such good friends and didn't really seem to care that he was no longer with us. Okay, please pay attention. And at this point, it's just looking performative. Okay, it's giving performative. All right, because if this was sincere and genuine and authentic, then Why does there have to be a picture posted? This could have been something that they did absolutely in private, just so they know that they did it to show their respects. Okay, but at the end of the day, this is basically for all of us to see. Just like when TMZ reported the story about them breaking down once they returned to the scene, I find it interesting because there was no one breaking down when Warren and Rage Tatum, tap dancing Tatum, returned to Horn Island. Okay, please pay attention. Also, there's the fact that they went in so hard in the paint on Mrs. Wansley, specifically calling her a blatant lie. Okay, that's what Jax called her a blatant lie. And also said that he didn't like the fact that she put this whole narrative out there, that it was about race and, basically talking about how she posted the pictures of them that were taken on that day. Well, I didn't see anything wrong with that, quite frankly. I think that she possibly did that so people would know who he was and what he was wearing on the day that he went missing, because
Yeah, who he
previously
was with.
she was given information that he was wearing black swim trunks, so she wanted to correct that, in my opinion. Okay, so it is what it is. At the end of the day, there's a whole lot of damage control going on at this point, in my opinion.
I
Please
agree.
pay attention. After we saw them have that interview and they sat up there and Jax was talking about how, they didn't do anything. And if they had, don't we think that someone would have seen, who down there on the floor of the boat scrambling and all of that? Yeah, that was very specific. Okay, that was very specific. Okay, at the end of the day, I just have several questions, is all I'm saying. But I'm going to be careful about how I frame my wording and everything, because I'm already fighting two cases over here on this app, okay? For community guidelines. Okay, please pay attention. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ahmadai Shakur. So it looks like some people have been listening to the comments online, or reading the comments and watching the videos, because now it seems like the things that we were saying that they haven't been doing, such as showing empathy and sympathy, showing any signs of grieving, basically now it seems like they're trying to compensate. Okay, so let's get into it. So it looks like on their return to Horn Island, they decided to put up a wreath.
I just want y'all to see that, in case for all of y'all that was just coming in, right? Um, just on some real stuff though. That interview is something. It's a couple things about that interview, and I'm gonna break them all down. First thing, I don't know if y'all know, is like there was something I didn't even catch, and that's only because I don't watch Officer Tatum. Now I don't know if she watches Officer Tatum, but she was definitely able to catch this bottle of liquor that was synonymous between Officer Tatum and the lawyer.
So I watched a little bit of Nancy Grace interview, and I happened to come across a part where she was interviewing the attorneys for the boys. And the attorney by the name of Tyler was sitting like in an office setting, and behind him, I noticed that there was a bottle of alcohol on his desk. And I said, that bottle of alcohol looks familiar. Let me show you the bottle that Tyler had on his desk. Take a look. Now, the first thing I thought was, it looks familiar, but where have I seen this bottle of alcohol from? I'm not a drinker, so I'm not familiar with much of anything that comes from behind a bar. But I couldn't really figure out exactly where I had saw it. And then I thought, aha, I remember where I saw that bottle at. Take a look. Officer Tatum, or ex-Officer Tatum, has the same bottle behind him. Now, I don't know if that is Officer Tatum alcohol brand, if he is the owner of that, but clearly he's either the owner or he's being paid to market that alcohol in particular. Isn't it strange that this attorney has the same bottle of alcohol on his desk?
Ain't that funny?
So if it is Officer Tatum's brand of alcohol, just know this. Officer Tatum is being paid by these boys. He is not doing this out of his own free will. There is a check behind this chaos.
Straight up and down, just like that. There's a lot of things, especially with this case and this interview and the people that we're speaking about. Sis said she sat up there and watched. Man, they got so many people with their eyes on this thing. I don't think any of those interviews was the right thing to do. Not that I don't think it was the right thing to do at all. But shout out to Samilla. She busted down. Go ahead, Miss Bush.
So I just finished watching this interview. I have a few questions. Apparently, Warren was never at the house when Tashima went to pick up the phone, but in a previous interview he gave a whole full description of
I mean, so I don't know why she was there, like what was going on, but I was very surprised by this. I was like, like you just basically like kicked the door open and, bust up in the house with no knock or anything. And when that mom came over and asked for it, there was no issue at all with us giving the phone to her. I mean, Nolan just left it on the boat. We handed the phone to her that night of the 4th of July.
But now he wasn't there.
Now I know, Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all that. So how did this happen? Because
who keeps advising these young men to do these interviews?
I swear to God. Did y'all get that? Did y'all understand what just happened right there? I've been saying that too. And in addition to that same conversation, why Jack slip up and say Nolan got back off the island. Dig this right here. I'm talking about they picking everything they said apart.
I haven't seen in a while. And so whenever we were coming back in, he didn't even think about grabbing his phone. He never asked about his phone, along with 5 other people that also left their phones on the boat, and we had to wait at the boat launch for them to come and pick him up, including Javon. I mean, Javon left his phone. Seen in a
So look, try to throw Javon under the bus now. You hear him? So what you mean he picked up his phone just like everybody else who left their phone? I don't think Jax was really prepared for the interview. And I don't think the other boys too, because even when it came down to Katie, Secret Sam for the win, he noticed this about the Katie thing.
Sam here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update, and something the math is not mathing here. The lawyers, the two cocks, were on Nancy's show, right? And she asked them, did they know Katie?
What's up from
Nolan
NZ?
wasn't with them anymore. They start asking themselves, okay, well, where's Nolan? They start texting everyone that they knew. Hey, have you seen Nolan? Do you know where Nolan is? Did he make it back home? All before they called Christine Wells that night, they start asking everybody. And so eventually they end up getting, through mutual friends, whoever, Katie's number. And so I believe it was maybe either Snapchat or text message. They got in communication with Katie. And Katie says, I don't know. We thought he was leaving with y'all. Well, I don't believe that's the case, obviously, because he did not leave with our boys. We don't know what happened.
Right, this doesn't make sense. Like, they didn't know Katie, so how did they get her number, right? And he says that, they frantically were calling everybody, and then they got a hold of Katie's number, right? But then why would Christine Walmsley say this?
So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answered the phone. He's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said, no. Why? He should be with you guys. And he said, oh, no, well, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met, and he had decided to stay behind. I said, what?
Now, don't you think that's odd that Warren called her and asked if she had seen her son when he was last seen with you? And then why would you tell his mom that, he was last seen with this Katie girl? Why wouldn't he say, and we talked to Katie and she is not with him? Why would they not mention that? That's what's odd. The lawyer is saying they had talked to Katie before they called Nolan's mom, but why wouldn't you give Nolan's mom that information and just say he left with a girl named Katie?
Right.
And why wouldn't you say you had already talked to Katie to confirm he wasn't with her? The math ain't mathin'.
I'm telling you, everybody is picking these interviews all the way apart. There's really nothing that nobody was going to get away with. Now, I don't know if y'all know about old girl. She been fanatical about this joint. She said it's a whole breakdown to the new timeline now.
Oh, these little liars. I told y'all that Jax was the ringleader. I told y'all. He sat in this interview and he was telling stories about shit that he wasn't even there to witness. So let's break down some of the stuff that I heard in this interview. Let's start with Warren's first phone call, because y'all will remember that Warren said that he was over at Ava's house for that 4th of July party when they all started realizing that Nolan was missing, and he called Miss Christine at 11 o'clock.
One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call, anything to do with Nolan Wells, was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this.
And yesterday, the same time that this interview came out, Christine Wells said this.
360 says that he's on land, and he was like, well, no, I mean, when we have his phone.
So both versions of the story say that Warren didn't tell her about the phone until after she confronted him with the 360. Now, Warren tells Miss Christine that he knows somebody in the Coast Guard and that he's going to call them, which is very fucking different than calling the Coast Guard, which absolutely explains why the Coast Guard came out and said at first that they had not received a call from the kids that night. The Coast Guard's initial statement said they weren't informed until 12:30. Then the Coast Guard later changed their story and said, oh wait, actually we did. And it seems to me that that first call was most likely an off-the-record to a friend kind of deal, which means these people freaked out and didn't call the Coast Guard until after all these people showed up at Jax's house. Which would explain why in the course of this interview it went from Warren called the Coast Guard to we did. Now, when the subject turns to how the family got the phone back from these boys, you'll notice that there was a couple slip-ups.
Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all that. So
now remember, Warren just said that he wasn't at the house when the phone was got. And then Morgan talks about getting a phone call from one of the people in Christine Wells' group.
And how did they get the phone back?
So I got a call from a kid we went to high school with. He called me just asking me questions. He saw people posting on Snapchat, like the picture that was circulating.
Except this picture wasn't posted until July 5th. So how could this picture have been circulating on Snapchat that night? But let's continue.
And he called and he was asking questions. He was like, where's Nolan? When's the last time y'all seen him? And then he was like, so where are y'all at? And I told him, I said, we're at Jax's house. And then Warren got on the phone, and I don't know.
So they come to my house, right? And they kind of hold on before we get there. Was it confrontational or was it just just trying to find? It was confrontational.
Yeah,
already?
wouldn't y'all agree?
Yeah.
He was 110%. He was very confrontational.
And when did was this on the night of the 4th or the next day?
This was the night when this was before they came and got the phone.
So this is the night of the 4th, yes.
You guys are missing a part of the story. How did you get from Ava's house to Jax's house? Because Miss Christine is watching you guys on the Life 360. So suddenly she's seeing the phone leave one location and go to another. Of course I would be upset. And now all of a sudden Warren is there when the phone stuff starts happening? He's listening to the phone call? Now I need y'all to remember that Warren also said that the phone was in his truck on the first conversation, as we have from this report. Meaning if we were to believe Warren that he was not there when everybody showed up looking for the phone at some time in between 11 and 1 a.m., so then that would mean after they heard this angry phone call, Warren gets the phone out of his vehicle and puts it in Jack's house and then leaves.
There's probably like 10, 15 people in my house I don't even know. And they're all up in our faces, going crazy, asking where Nolan is, and we don't know. And finally they get into Wyatt's face, and they're like, where's your boat? Where's the boat at?
Demanding his address.
Demanding his address and stuff like that. And he finally ends up giving it to him. We give them the phone. They have the phone at this point. Then they get the address to his house. Then they go to his house. And they're searching all over his boat, what I heard and stuff like that. Well, anyways, I don't really know much about that. But they come back to my house at around 1 o'clock in the morning.
We called law enforcement. I was with Wyatt at the time. After we left Jackson's house that night, I was with Wyatt, and one one person we were with saw that their location was actually headed towards Wyatt's house. And so Wyatt got on the phone with 911 and was like, hey, these people are on the way to my house or already at my house. My mom and my dad are there alone, and they know nothing about this. But Wyatt's mom actually, when they were looking at the boat, they were actually walking from the boat, and she came out and started talking to them.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
Yeah, hold
Wyatt,
on.
Morgan, and Jax were all together. Warren was gone for some reason at this point. 10 to 15 people just barge into your house. Don't know why your grandparents weren't around. That might explain some things, huh? Guess y'all had the house all to your fucking self that weekend. But then they ask Wyatt for his address so that they can go look at the boat. Wyatt gives them the address. They start heading over there. Wyatt and Morgan get into a car and leave Jax's house. Somebody else that you were with that we aren't hearing about is tracking someone else's phone. I don't know if it was somebody who was with the group that they had access to, or if they were tracking Nolan's phone and they saw it was heading to Wyatt's house. And even though Wyatt gave them the address, and instead of calling his parents, he calls 911 and tells them, my parents don't know anything about that's going on. Can you send police over there? Now, mind you, it was about half an hour after being on the phone with Warren that Christine was able to actually call and report him missing. But she was having to go back and forth and go down to all these different agencies because nobody would fucking help her. And frankly, I want to know why all of this confrontation was left out of the fucking report. Like, if this family had to be removed from 2 different properties by the police, why is there no record of that? And in fact, it wasn't until after these confrontations that MDMR and Ocean Springs Police apparently had their little conversations about who was going to be taking over the case. Because remember, the Jackson County Sheriff Lieutenant told them that deputies had spoken with several friends that had traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan, and that when they were left, he was in the company of an unknown female. So now, even though Warren had supposedly called the Coast Guard, all these family members are telling the police that the kid is missing. These are the people that last saw them. They're all like, we last saw him on the island. Still, the deputies said that they did not have reason to believe that there was any water-related exigencies or emergencies. Don't worry, y'all. I've got a lot fucking more to say about this stuff. So come back for part 2. I'm going to be immediately.
Man, she said a lot of F words, and I just looked at my monetization. They just killed it. Thanks. But she has some good ass information. Jeez Louise, I hate YouTube, man. I wish there was a place where they didn't trip off of regular adult words. That is crazy. But anyway, moving on. Little Miss Potty Mouth. We watched the Nancy Grace with them lawyers, and she had them shook. Like, and I really be pointing out stuff that I thought that I see other creators hit on too, because I was thinking the same way. And Flacco was right on point with this.
Nancy Grace just humiliated the attorneys of Nolan Wall's fake friends live on her show for everybody to see. Had them stuck, had them stuttering, had them confused. And these are attorneys.
My first question to clear up this matter: have your clients taken polygraphs? First to you, Tyler Cox.
Nancy, my clients have not taken a polygraph test. And I can tell you why. Because any lawyer worth their salt is going to tell their clients not to take a polygraph test under any circumstances.
She pivots for a little bit, and you about to see if she's so cold with it. She's so cold with it. She looks at Donald Trump's attorney, the guy who was wearing the Carl Cox hat, right? And she asks him a very simple question. A question that, if you have nothing to hide, is very simple. Here's what happened, here's what happened, here's what happened, right? She asked the dude, you are a powerhouse attorney. You are like Donald Trump's attorney. How did you get involved in this? How can these kids afford you?
Edward, how did you get involved in this case?
Well, I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this. I can tell you that it was through a friend of a friend.
You're kidding, right?
So Nancy Grace says, hold on, bro. Y'all are attorneys. Y'all know the protocol when it comes to eyewitnesses. Like, y'all know the questions you got to ask and which questions disqualifies them from being credible. Did y'all propose those questions? And if you guys did not propose those questions, why are you guys so quick to believe them and take their word for it?
They've known him for a long time. They were able to make a positive ID. And they told that to investigators. They told them that from the very start.
Had they been drinking?
That I do not know.
How are they sure it was 6 o'clock? Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking the questions I would ask in court. How do they know it was 6 o'clock? Did they go, oh, there's Nolan Wells at 6 p.m.?
And they know the eyewitnesses that they have don't really meet that standard. But they're still parading the eyewitnesses out here as if they're credible because that's all they really have. Y'all let me know in the comment section, man, what y'all think about this, man. Nancy Grace just humiliated.
I'm just saying, man, everybody's kind of really on the same accord when it comes to the questions towards this thing. I mean, it kind of really don't matter which creator I speak with. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all saying the same thing. Like even when you break down what happened at the nighttime, then it's more drama with the Cito call too, in my opinion, because are they trying to allude to the fact that the call was faked? And if so, why would that organization put the call out if it was fake? But everybody caught up on their little funny little body language. I mean, everybody tripping off that for sure.
I mean, we loved him dearly.
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us, and I can say without a doubt, nobody wants to know what happened to him more than we do. I mean, we want to know what.
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to all of us. I mean, we loved him dearly.
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us, and I can say without a doubt, nobody wants to know what happened.
Look at their facial expressions. You can tell they were not their friends. You can literally tell. And why is this dude smiling and laughing while saying that shit? That doesn't make any sense to me. They are the type of white dudes that literally hide their racism and smile on black people's faces, right? But in reality, they'll talk shit and say racist things, say the N-word about black people behind our backs. That's them. Literally 100%. Stop calling those called friends his best friends. They are not his best friends. They went to the podcast before they reported to the police. Even if Brandon Tatum makes his content anti-black, that's why he feels so. That's why they feel so comfortable going to this podcast. I appreciate Brandon Tatum for inviting him to the podcast. It really shows us like somebody is lying.
I mean, we loved him dearly.
Hold on, I got Hold on, I got that blown up for y'all so y'all can see for yourself. I know y'all want to see. Hold on real quick. Oh, hold on. I got it blown up real quick. Hold on real quick. Just the video, because I thought that was hilarious.
I mean, we loved him dearly.
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us, and I can say without a doubt, nobody wants to know what happened to him more than we do. I mean, we want to know what.
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to all of us. I mean, we loved him dearly.
You see them faces?
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us, and I can say without a doubt, nobody wants to know what happened.
Look at them faces,
I mean, we
man.
loved him dearly.
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us.
He like, oh my god.
I can say without a doubt, nobody wants to know
what is that?
What
All
happened to him
tongue
more than
motion.
we do.
What?
I mean,
what is that?
We want to know what.
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to all of us. I mean, we loved him dearly.
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us, and I can say without a doubt, nobody wants
Southern
to know
Breeze.
what happened.
I mean, we loved him dearly.
Now and then they the same friends that's gonna go off and go do this.
Well, what do we have here? Isn't this just the sweetest thing ever? You wait a whole month after your best friend / bro passes away, and now you want to go putting up a memorial. And let me guess, you did this for us. You did it for us, huh? You did it for us.
Basically.
Yeah, you did it because we kept saying you guys weren't showing any kind of emotion. See, that's how I know you guys are just so, you guys are persuaded by the internet, and it's sad. Like, why don't y'all just get out here and confess the truth? Since you hear everything that we say, and since you do everything, you give us a reaction after everything that we post about. How about you just go on in there and confess, Warren? Because I know it's getting to you. Jax, you want to go confess? I see you up there really uncomfortable. And then you just post something not too long ago saying that whatever you did on the 4th of July, that you could possibly get 10 years for or more. Yeah, you posted it and then you deleted it. And then you went and made your whole account private. Yeah, we saw it. So whenever you're ready to crack, just let us know. You can call me. I'll put it out for you. I see y'all got y'all little boyfriend over there with you too, old Tatum, huh? Old Tater Tot. Yeah. Like I said before, y'all relationship is looking a little groomy to me. But anyways. Well, what do we have here?
She said your boy old Tater Tot. Hey, they was really getting on they was really getting on Warren's little tail though about how he looked. If y'all look how he looked, that boy that lost a bunch of pounds from that second interview.
Now, they are saying that Warren looks like he's lost a lot of weight from this tragedy. And it's like, well, what do you expect? He just told you he can't go to restaurants anymore. I have to use that GoFundMe money for some Uber Eats, baby. Your restaurant days are over, kid.
We went to a restaurant and someone came up to me and was like, "Is this you?" And I was kind of like shaken up about it.
The woman came up and said, "Hey, is this you?" Then she came back.
But my thing when he even said that, I said, dude, you out here doing interviews with Officer Tatum. You act like ain't nobody gonna recognize you. Like, what are you talking about? The victimhood is real. But more on them lawyers though. Secret Sam for the win when the lawyers talk about it ain't no foul play.
For a Nolan Xavier Wells update, and that one Cox Ballsack, the lawyer, made an insane claim on Nancy Grace. Check this out.
See, one thing about this island, I did have the opportunity to go to Horn Island. And when you go to the island, everything starts to make sense. The first picture was maybe not so accurate. If you go to the part of Horn Island where, these events all occurred, you see that there are really no trees on that part of the island. It's flat, it's open, there are no visual obstructions, so there's no trees, there's no shelter, there's no nothing, and it was broad daylight with thousands of people there, meaning there was no opportunity for foul play during daylight hours. And that's where this whole thing starts to unravel.
Anything could have happened between those boats. Anything.
Well, but
even
but
an
Nancy,
accident could happen between those boats. And
but
so
Nancy,
many people are drunk. I don't think they're paying attention.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? We could always say anything is possible. An asteroid could strike right now. But I am telling you that there are a lot of people who have talked about this case and have said things that are not true, and they haven't been to the island. They've got to go to the island. If you don't go to the island, you can't speak with authority about the case. And I won't name names, but a lot of people who have hurt these fine young men and have defamed them, they've never visited the island, and I'm willing to bet that they've never visited the islands. Look at it right there. That shot you have right there. Broad daylight with thousands of people there.
So you're telling me that there's no way foul play can happen when the lights are on or during the day? I had no clue that nobody's ever been unalive during the day. It all happens at nighttime. What is this, Batman? Anyway, I'm digressolating. How can they be so sure? And after all, if they say it was an accidental drowning, then of course it wouldn't have happened on the island. But to say that there's no way foul play could have happened at all on that island because it was daytime is an asinine statement to make, in my opinion.
I think so too as well. The lawyers have been goofy the whole time. Let's just keep that real. The lawyers, I don't understand. And with all of this privilege, like y'all done got Trump's lawyers, and y'all still up here out saying goofy stuff. Like he ain't obviously having Trump's lawyers ain't helping you any. Honestly. But sis said they need to come on and come down and stop with the BS.
And sitting here looking at this pic, right? The only explanation I can come up with or see why these kids are perceived as incapable of committing serious violence is the power of stereotyping and racial conditioning. We've really been conditioned. Like, think about it. We've really been conditioned to associate darker skin with danger, aggression, and criminality, while extending innocence and the benefit of the doubt consistently to others. But these preconceptions can and should absolutely be challenged. We all have a responsibility to question the assumptions we've been taught. Instead, some of you automatically judge someone's capacity for violence based on their race or appearance. Y'all need to do better. White kids aren't inherently less violent, just as black kids aren't inherently more violent. Like, we need to really stop confusing racial stereotypes with individual character. Individual character. Violence is a behavior, not a biological trait of an entire fucking race. And stop generalizing. Like, only idiots generalize. Stop that shit. Because anyone on this God-given earth can be savage-like, evil, and inherently violent.
We loved him dearly.
Yeah, Nolan was like a brother to us. And I can say without a doubt, nobody wants to know what happened to him more than we do. I mean, we want to know what.
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to all of us. Nolan was like a brother to all of us. We loved him dearly.
Nolan was like a brother to us. And I can say without a doubt, nobody wants to know what happened. What happened? Nolan was like a brother to us.
Yup, Megan, sit here looking at this pic, right?
David, boy, them interviews was like the worst thing they could have possibly ever done. And plus, there's a count of what the parents said and what they said. Everybody's picking that apart, man. You're not going to be able to get away with anything. Here go another inconsistency.
And he was like, hey, I know some people at Coast Guard. I said, okay. He's like, I'm gonna call Coast Guard, you call DMR. Get on the phone with DMR. I give the young lady the information. And she tells me, hey, I got this. Let me call you back. Because she was like, I'm not sure if this is going to be in our jurisdiction.
Well. What do we have here, Warren? You called your friend at the Coast Guard? Is that what? That's why y'all were talking for 20 minutes just catching up, right? Because you called your friend at the Coast Guard. I guess that's why the number had to be blurred out, right? Because why would Officer Doofy have to blur out the official Coast Guard's number? That must have been your friend's number that you called that worked for the Coast Guard. All right. I'm glad we're getting to the bottom of this.
Before I get
Can be also straight up. But I mean, it's not. So when we talk about the speed of the case or actually what's happening, we got qualified people asking like what's up. This even long 15 minutes of murder had to step in and chop it up on it.
My scrutiny goes with law enforcement and the courts with this also. Every single person, every single agency involved in this is Shorty Nolan. If the true answer to this is that was an accident, how can we even know that? Because it's still being handled with these little kid gloves. Like, we are not going to get anywhere the way this is being handled right now. My scrutiny goes with law enforcement and the courts with this also. Every single person, every single agency involved in this is Shorty Nolan. If the true answer to this is that was an accident, how can we even know that? Because it's still being handled with these little kid gloves. Like, we are not going to get anywhere the way this is being handled right now. My scrutiny goes with law enforcement in the courts with this also. Every single person, every single agency involved in this is Shorty Nolan. If the true answer to this is that was an accident, how can we even know that? Because it's still being handled with these little kid gloves.
I like that, man. I just had to hear that again, man. Like, that's a very good question. Then we talk more about these interviews. I'm gonna break Yolanda be busting it dizow. Go ahead, yo.
Two of Nolan Wells' friends recently went back to Horn Island with their attorneys, and their lawyers say that they're conducting their own investigation. But I gotta say, as a defense attorney, that made me raise an eyebrow.
Right.
Because nobody has been charged with a crime. Hey, y'all, Yolanda here, and listen, I'm popping in for this legal brief because I think this issue needs a little legal context. And if you're following the Nolan Wells case, share this with someone else who's following it, because I had the opportunity to discuss this issue on the Don Lemon show earlier this week. So now, let me say this. I've gone back to crime scenes plenty of times when representing someone charged with a crime.
Okay.
That's normal defense work. But here, nobody's been charged with a crime. And these young men are potential witnesses in an active investigation, and their attorneys have reportedly said that they're conducting their own investigation and considering potential defamation claims. Now, is that automatically improper? Of course not. But is it unusual enough to make me ask questions? Absolutely. And that defamation piece? Oh, yeah, see, that's another wrinkle. Because somebody saying something horrible about you doesn't automatically make it defamation.
Right.
Among other things, we're generally talking about a false statement of fact. And truth is the defense to defamation. So once again, the facts matter. But here's what concerns me. There have been interviews, explanations, recreations of the timeline. And every time a potential witness publicly tells that story, they create another statement that can later be compared to what they previously said and to the actual evidence. So now I understand wanting to get ahead of the court of public opinion. These young men have faced serious accusations online. Nobody's disputing that. But here's the problem. The court of public opinion doesn't have rules of evidence. There's no judge deciding what's admissible. There's no cross-examination. And sometimes putting more information out there doesn't lower the temperature.
Right.
It raises it.
Yep.
And if someone is eventually charged, all this publicity could matter during jury selection, because lawyers are going to want to know, what have the potential jurors already seen? Have they already made up their minds? So no, I'm not saying going back to Horn Island means anybody did anything wrong. That's not the point. What I am saying is that when you're a potential witness in an active investigation, every time you publicly tell your story, you're creating another version that lawyers may examine later. And sometimes saying more doesn't quiet the noise. It just creates more to analyze. So listen, if you learn something, share this legal brief with someone else who's following the Nolan Wells case.
Yes, ma'am. For sure. I'll make sure I hit that like. Yeah, but come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're in the middle of an investigation, all the talking you're doing is not helping you. And it seems like every time they say something, they're putting their foot in their mouth. Now, this one I found interesting, and I don't only give it credence based off her fanaticism towards this case. But check out what she said about the work she did on this picture. And then what? Now the picture ain't credible because it wasn't done by some forensic scientist. Get out of here.
And the entire skyline is different. You can say, oh, these are different pictures and like people just moved slightly, but the skyline wouldn't fucking change. So what were they hiding? Because it seems to me they didn't want people to see this boat or this green boat. Like, the skyline doesn't change over here. Look, it's in the same place. It's just over here. So 100% from the get-go, they were tampering with photographs. absolutely nothing that they've given anybody can be trusted.
Which makes me think about that Cito call, y'all. Now I'm not saying listen, I'm not saying that the call's not real. What I'm saying is they didn't necessarily have to make the call outside the island. I think you know what I'm saying? I think with the information, okay, let's take it all back. Right? Let's take it all back. The main point that they're trying to get us to go along with is that they left the island and they don't know what happened. So what happened to the picture in the pool? Right? Because Jax did say on that video that I played earlier that Nolan made it back and got his phone. Jax did slip up and say that. He did slip up and say that. So I'm just trying to, wonder and figure out, like, hold on, I'm gonna play it again. This is what Jack said. Now keep in mind, they want us to believe that Nolan never left the island with them. So that means whatever happened after that, they don't know nothing about it, right? Okay. But he said this.
Wow. And so whenever we were coming back in, he didn't even think about grabbing his phone. He never asked about his phone, along with 5 other people that also left their phones on the boat, and we had to wait at the boat launch for them to come and pick them up, including Javon. I mean, Javon left his phone, seen in a while.
See, that was another part of it too. They tried to throw Javon on the boat. Javon is in the comment section on a post talking about, nah, why y'all lying? That ain't me on the boat. They already trying to throw Cuz under the bus real quick. You know what? Oh, you know what? It's a lot of y'all busters in the chat. It's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of y'all. And you know what? I found this video interesting. This is what happens to y'all when y'all get a dose of real life. I want y'all to learn this lesson from my man real quick. Listen to this, because this is y'all. This how y'all.
What's up, white boy? You still in the comment section talking shit, crying and shit? Check this out. No one threatened you, bitch ass. See how this is how it normally goes, right? You peck of woods, chew gum with your ass and pop shit. I find your phone number, I'll call you. I give you your address. And I simply tell you, see how shit can go south real crazy? Cause you in comment sections, right? All of a sudden I threaten you. Well, let's just say I did threaten you. That's what happens when you talk shit to motherfuckers. See, in your white world, you feel you can get into the comment section and say whatever you want. See, in real life, when you talk shit, a nigga be like, bitch, I knock your ass out. Who's you talking to? So your ass is scared.
Right.
You running your mouth.
Right.
Moral of the story, chew gum with your ass and pop shit, and a motherfucker call your ass and give you your address. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I doxed you. I didn't dox you, bitch. I told you your address. All this language means you're uncertain of my actions, right? You don't know what this nigga gonna do. Funny how you should have been paying attention to who the fuck you talking to.
You get me?
Cause now all of a sudden, you just talking to yourself. This comment outside of me doing a video response is hitting. Nobody can see your fucking comment. It's hitting. That's how mediocre you are. So, reminder, you get into my comments talking shit, you leave your back door open, I get information on you, I'm gonna call your bitch ass and give you your address just to remind you. That's how easy it is. Social media can get into some real life shit, bruh. I'm not apologetic, and I'm not sorry that you lame ass white boys live in this reality thinking that you're immune from real life shit, punk. That's
Say it again.
I'm not apologetic, and I'm not sorry that you lame ass white boy. I'm not apologetic. I'm not apologetic. I'm not apologetic, and I'm not sorry that you lame ass white boys live in this reality thinking that you're immune from real life shit, punk. That's what you get. So stay scared. Get into the comments and yell. Hopefully someone will come to your defense. Oh, he called me and threatened me. He doxed me. Hey, you know what? If that's how you feel, oh well.
Oh
Guess
well.
what would have never happened if you wouldn't have been chewing gum with your ass and popping shit? Me targeting your bitch ass. That's how you feel, oh well. Guess what would have never happened if you wouldn't have been chewing gum with your ass and popping shit? Me targeting your bitch ass for no reason other than you just existing. That's how it normally goes. Now you realize consequences, my nigga. Because you was talking high octane shit. Oh yeah, nigga, yeah, well, okay, bet. Now your ass is crying and shit in the comment section. You bleed for 7 days and don't die, sucker.
Suckers. Oh yeah. Yeah. You little suckers. You know I don't mind stopping my program to get at you busters. I don't mind scraping the fat off your head, buster. But they like it anyway, though, y'all. They come over here just for daddy to smack them around a little bit. And I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you exactly what you want, you little busters. Now, back to the regularly scheduled program. He said the family was waiting for a joint investigation, and this just to dispel all the myth about they not giving up the phone.
Family of Nolan Wells, would you just be blindly turning over that cell phone after they promised a joint investigation? I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and say that you probably would not turn over that cell phone, especially when the district attorney for Jackson County, Mississippi, specifically said, we will offer a joint investigation with our investigators and you as the family, and we will dissect and extract any information on that phone to confirm if any at all information has in fact been destroyed. But you guys saw that in a legal document sent on August 11th, that joint investigation logistics have not occurred yet. They have not reached out to the family yet to say, hey, these are the days that work. Now, I know social media and I know the public are running around with this saying they are not cooperating. No, they're cooperating, but they're doing something intelligent, saying, we're not just going to hand over the phone.
Exactly.
You promised us a joint investigation. Well, we want you to make good on your word. When will that joint investigation and cell phone extraction actually occur? When we know, we'll be there and we will physically hand over the phone. But not until then. That's not cooperating. That's not obstruction of justice.
Right.
That is the family waiting for the district attorney to make good on her word. If you
Period. How he know? How he know what's up? And these goofies still stupid. By the way, this is you know what? Y'all arguing back and forth with the people in the chat, but y'all gotta understand why they mad. They mad because they wake up every day looking like this. This why y'all mad, son? Is this why y'all mad? Y'all some mad little crackers, huh? Little crackers over here mad, crying. Cope harder. Little Vienna sausage man. Cope harder. Over here. The black peoples. The blackies. The blacks. It's the blacks. I would if I woke up like that every morning, I would be pissed off too. You know what, y'all actually pretty good at racism. That's what I said. Goodbye. I'm a race hustler. I'm out. You ain't going nowhere. We gonna see Nocturnal. He gonna type again in the chat. He ain't went nowhere. He ain't went nowhere. Melody. Yep, this is what we do. Thank you for the jewels, boo. But this y'all, huh? Look, they all had to jump out on this one, huh? Look, they over there. That hurt y'all little soul, don't it? That's how y'all look. Little angry little crackers with your little micro peen. Huh? And if it ain't that, y'all, look, if it ain't that, it's this. This all they think about. Little kids, animals, shooting up schools, and the blacks. The blacks. That's them. This who y'all dealing with in the chat. Y'all got to feel bad for them, man. Ooh, I lost about 50 people. Good. This is what they think about, y'all. The blacks. You little puppy-loving snow roaches. Little puppy touchers. That's what you is. Rendell, that's how we get out. Oh, I takes a little minute out to get them right. Yeah. I takes a little time out to get them right. Yeah, I take a little time out. You know what I'm saying? To really show them who's boss. Just to show them who's boss. They gonna mess around and get the chair of justice. That's what they need. They need that chair of justice. Yeah, that don't mess around. It was just Fade in the Water Day not too long ago. Don't forget. Never forget what happened. If we really want to get down, don't forget what happens. Is what I'm trying to tell you. You better put a little button on your lip, boy, and act like you got some sense. That's what I would advise you to do. You understand me? Straight up. So look, I got another video to come back with. I just want to let the people speak what they was gonna speak. But y'all know how we do it all night on the all night side of the game. We got to do some crime tonight. And then I got another story too, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and dip up out of here real quick, but I'm coming right back though. Okay? Right back. On my mama, cuz. On my mama. Oh, I got them hot over there. Boy, y'all little Twitter fingers is gone, huh? Hurry up, Jay. Okay, Shay. Yeah, I'm gonna do some crime tonight for sure. Oh, I got them over there mad, boy. Y'all mad, boy. I see you. You know what else would make them mad, y'all? If we did a roll call real quick before we get out the door. If you ain't never been here before, this is how we exercise demons and get them little races out the chat. Come on. Can I get a roll call? Hey. Where my people's at? Okay. We got Spokane, Washington, and up in here. We got FBA all damn day. We got Boston. We got Maryland. You understand what I'm talking about? Roll call from the LFG. We got Richmond, California. We got Memphis, Tennessee. Let's cook. Chicago up in here. Hey. Duval. Queensland, Australia. Virginia. DC in the building. Pennsylvania. Hey. We got Germany over here. Got Oak Cliff, Texas, North Carolina, K-Town, Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma, New York, Tennessee. Hey, Las Vegas in there, Joe. Hey, Midwest. That's Minnesota, Wisconsin, Fort Worth, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hey, the deep south. Newark, New Jersey, Brick City. We got Camden, New Jersey. That's right. We can get them all up out of here. Panama City, Florida checking in. Camden checking in. Triple D, Dallas. Ow! Hey, Puerto Rico in there, John. I came at the best time. You sure did. Sis James, welcome to the family, CC. Oh, yeah, I see your name. What's up? How you doing, Mom? That's right. You know what time it is. Sometimes we gotta ward off the evil spirits sometime, no big deal. Show a little unity with the community. You know what I'm saying? Happy White Chair Day. That's right. I had that up there as a symbolization. You know what I'm saying? But I got some more for y'all, man. Finna come on back. So you know what I always say, I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on cold. And I got 4 words for you. I need you to go ahead. First of all, say Bay County, Florida. I see you, baby. I see you now. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibes, like for the spike in the algorithm. If you're really hardcore, come back and hype that thing. You get 3 hypes a week on YouTube. Hype that thing. Comment your vomit and share if you care about getting the Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platforms that we are on, Jones. And just to bring it on home, I got love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm coming right back for show. You already know how.